friends. Happy Sunday. My wire's already in my way. How's it going? If I look sweaty and disheveled, it's because I am. I literally just walked back in the door a minute ago. Hello, Crystal. How's it going? Um, Jacob was away this weekend and came back, and I had to walk 2 blocks to his friend's place where they offloaded everything and he needed help carrying stuff back. Hello, Haley. And of course, they got back at 6 o'clock, which is why I delayed the stream a little bit, and I walked back into my apartment at 6:14, and I'm like, the stream. But I'm here. Oh, it's so hot. I was perfectly fine until I went outside, and now my body is like, oh yeah, we're supposed to be warm right now. So I'm like sweating. I have the fan on. I don't think it's loud enough that you guys will hear it. I don't think my mic is picking it up, but it is definitely on the highest setting. It's going. Just finished supper, helped grandma cook, and then the cleaning. Valid. Figure I can be convinced to work on more book stuff. Could you? Good to know. Also living in sweaty Deathland. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are. I feel like it's hot everywhere. But we'll probably jump into a sprint relatively quickly because one of the things that Jacob brought back was food, and I'm hungry. So I'm gonna eat and then do my normal bullet journal, etc. stuff. He also apparently brought me back books because they stopped at a bookstore. Or it wasn't really a bookstore. It's apparently, he said it was called Book Thing, which is an interesting name for a place, where once a month they open up and just let people take any amount of books they want for free, which is strange, but okay. And he wouldn't tell me what books he got, but he did say he grabbed me a couple of books, which, I'm not gonna complain. Hopefully they're good. But I guess I'll share with you what they are after the sprint when I have said books. On chapter 24 of 36. Ooh, you're getting there. I do have to join the family Zoom call now just to say hi, so I won't be here all stream. No! Rip. But understandable. Oh, that reminds me that I have to figure out travel stuff because my dad's birthday is on Wednesday and he's turning 60, so it's kind of a big one, and he wants to do stuff. But why would you, when you know that your 2 grown children have jobs, why would you ask 3 days before, hey, are we doing anything? Wouldn't you think to try and make plans ahead of time? I am off on Wednesday, but Wednesday is when Jacob does things, so I don't know if he would want to drive up. Yeah, 3 days is fine if we lived in the same town, but that's a 2-hour drive. I need a little more notice than that. But figure out if we're able to go up or not. So I gotta do that during the sprint. What else do I have to do? I don't know, the heat has melted my brain. I did do some work on Whimsy today. That was fun. I kind of want to do more, but I also kind of want to just not use my brain, you know? So we'll see after I eat and catch up with Jacob and do stuff. Then I'm going to do my journaling, and then we'll figure out what I do after. That sounds like a plan. I know, Crystal, you said that your thing is at 7, and I don't want to, go into a sprint so that we don't get to hang out before your thing, but also, I kind of really want to just jump into a sprint so I can do stuff. Did finish a chapter today, but I'm like halfway through this chapter, and I'm slowly becoming hyper obsessive about getting these edits done. Understandable. When you're so close, you're like, I just gotta get this. I just gotta get this next thing, and then this next thing, and then it's like, sometimes you gotta pump the brakes, but like, I am the same. I am about halfway. Sprint. Okay. Thank you for your blessing. I'm about halfway through chapter 2 of Whimsy, which is Gilfire's first chapter, because it is dual POV, and it's alternating one chapter each. So the first chapter is from Angel's POV, and the second chapter is Gilfire's. I think, according to my outline that I did a couple of months ago at this point, Angel gets the first and last chapter because there's an odd number. So I think in the second book, I might start and end with Gilfire because I kind of like that symmetry. And plus, the first book is mostly her arc, and the second book is mostly his arc. So it like lines up that way. I don't know why I'm thinking about book 2 stuff when I literally, like I said, am 1.5 chapters into drafting book 1. But at least it's only a duology. I did think for a while that this was going to be a trilogy, but then I was like, wait a minute. Actually, duology makes sense. So it is only 2 books. But I still don't have to be thinking about book 2 anytime soon. Yeah. I feel when you're like, I get that feeling when I am doing something else, and then my brain is like, oh, but you could be working. And I'm like, shut up. I already worked. It's fine. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a while since I've tried multi POV in this way. Like a long time. I think since like 2021, 2022, when I drafted the Dragons book. That was 4 POVs and way too many. I mean, it's the number of POVs that story needs, but definitely too many to jump into as my first multi POV book. And there's a reason why that draft has not been touched in 3+ years. But yeah, dual POV, because it is a romance. These are the 2 people that are gonna fall in love. Spoiler alert, but like, it's a romance, you know it's gonna happen. It's a fantasy romance. For anybody who doesn't know what I'm talking about, Whimsy is my silly, self-indulgent fantasy romance. And I'm drafting it. Well, Salvation, my horror novel, is with beta readers like Crystal, who has already read the first half. So, but I do have a few other people looking at it, which is great. I want to play WoW with Dio, but book. I want to read Salvation, but book. I'm not healthy right now, but we are vibing and thriving. Understandable. Ugh. It was supposed to be an all vibes book, and then the freaking plot happened, and like obviously it was gonna have a plot, but it was supposed to be silly little self-indulgent book. But then it's still very self-indulgent, but it's less silly than its inception. Its initial idea meant. It's got some big themes. Yeah, how dare the plot. I know, right? So rude. But I do like what I've got going on, and I'm excited. What chapter? So I'm starting off with, this is my outline, all of these index cards. So the ones with the purple highlight on the top are Gilfire's POV. So in my brain this whole time, his name is Gilfire, Gilfire. I've been referring to him in my head as Gil, but as I'm writing, I'm like, he's Gilfire. The only person who calls him Gil is his brother. And so I'm trying to like switch in my head to referring to him to myself as Gilfire so that I keep in the draft only referring to him as Gilfire, except when his brother's involved. But yeah, Gilfire is a light purple, and then Ainsl's chapters, I don't even know if you can see it, but they are a navy blue. So what chapter do they meet? No. Chapter 6, the end of chapter 6 is technically when they first meet. They have their not so meet cute. Then that is Gilfire's POV. And then chapter 8, which is also Gilfire's POV, because that's how switching POVs works. Ainsel is 7. That's when they, like, have their actual, like, oh, you're a human that I have to... No, actually, Ainsel's not a human. She's Fae. But you're a person that I have to interact with for more than 30 seconds. Great, I guess. So I got a long way to go before they meet, but I'm still in the back of my head as I've been writing these past couple of days. I've been like, they're going to be so cute, and they're going to suffer, and I'm going to love it. Because this is a slow burn, and it's very painful for the two of them, because... No, I shan't spoil it for you. But I really, really want to. They're gonna go through some stuff before they're allowed to be happy together. There will be a happily ever after, because that's what makes a romance. But they're gonna have to earn it. Yes, color-coded POVs. Meet not cute? That is a way better phrase, and I'm stealing that. Yeah, they are so cute, and they're going to suffer, and I love it. What more is there to say? Like, you get it. It's less physical suffering and more emotional suffering, in that they both are of the... I'm not going to steal it for any specific purposes. I'm just going to, like, have that phrase in my head. But yeah, they're both people who are like, oh, the world sucks, and I've only got, like, a couple of people who care about me and that I care about, and everyone else hates me, and blah, blah, blah. And then once they're finally like, oh, actually, I kind of like this other person, and maybe they could like me too, is when the world is like, y'all gotta earn it. They're not allowed to just realize and be together. They gotta have the realization, and then they gotta go through shit, and then they can be together. Yeah, this is also the further I got into the, like, creation process of this, the less smutty it's gotten. So when I first was like, I'm gonna write a silly little self-indulgent romantasy, I thought it was gonna be smutty, because that's what I was really vibing with at the time, was reading smutty romantasy books. And then I did, like, some, like, plot work, I did, like, a beat sheet, and then I did the outline, and with each, like, level, I just stripped back more of that stuff to make it, like, a true slow burn. And now in my outline, we'll see what happens in the actual draft, but in my outline, there are 2 kisses, one of which is not romantic. It's just for... Actually, I've talked about how this trope is in it. One of the tropes in this book is marriage of convenience, because it's one of my favorite tropes ever, and so they have to kiss when they get married for convenience reasons. But so it's not like a romantic thing, because that's not why they're getting married. Then a second kiss is magically induced, so it's not like a choice. So, very different from how I first thought it was going to be. But I'm also so excited to see what it becomes. It is very slow going, though. Like, I've been working on it for several days, and I am about 3,500 words in, which is great. I've been doing good work. It's just less words than I personally normally get, which I feel like as I get into it, I'll be able to like reach my normal levels of drafting. You know? So we will get there. We just gotta get there. I'm so tired. Can you tell my brain is running at like half capacity? Yes, teasing. I don't know what this was for, but thanks, man. Yeah, this is true. This is like they're like a slow burn in the same way that like when you light, you know, in um like high tension moments when there's like big explosive thing and there's like a really long like rope or fuse or like trail of gasoline or whatever, and it gets lit at this end, and so there's like that time tension of watching it like burn down before it gets to the big explosion. Charles and Alex are like you light that fuse and you watch it go all the way and then it gets snuffed right before it hits the explosion. Is that a good metaphor? That wasn't a metaphor, that was a simile because I said like. Is that a good simile? It's oh, chef's kiss. Marriage of convenience? One of the best tropes. It's so good. Whimsy as soon as I fucking can. As soon as Salvation, that's what it's called. I know the names of my own stuff. As soon as that's all wrapped up, I can devote myself more fully to Whimsy. Why do I not know the names of my own books when I've literally been talking about them for the past 20 minutes? What? Um, yeah. I gotta hightail it on Salvation. I gotta kick my butt into gear. I got a deadline, and I'm gonna fucking do it. I have to, and then I can breathe a little bit and take my time with Whimsy. Like I do have ideas of when I want it to be published, but it's not really set in stone the same way Salvation is. Which Salvation isn't really set in stone, but like it is in my brain. It doesn't have to be published when I want it to be published, but I want it to be published then anyway. Anywho, yeah, Chalix is so funny. Uh-huh. I'm so excited for your book, Crystal. Butt kicking for goodness. Yeah. You and me, we're gonna get these books done, and then we're gonna work on other stuff. And by other stuff, I mean I'm gonna work on other stuff, and you're gonna work on the same series, but a different book in the series. Okay. I did say we were gonna jump right into a sprint and then chat it for 20 minutes, but it's fine. Correct. We are gonna do the things, and that includes rat. We're gonna rat for a little bit, for a lot of bit. It's a big sprint. But what do you mean book 2 is next, I think? What else would be next, Crystal? Oh, man. Ooh. I just remembered something I want to show Jacob. Okay, we're going to sprint. We're going to sprint. And, oh, that's fair. Okay. Well, I guess that also would make sense. But yeah, we're going to sprint. And then come back after this 55-55 and do, excuse me, I'm very tired, do some more chatting, and then another sprint probably, and we'll see where the night takes us. So yeah, I'm gonna press play and we're gonna watch the rats do our little dance. That's fair. That seems like a good break because the first 3 are pretty separate from 4 and 5. Anyway, no more chatting. We're gonna sprint. I'm gonna press play. The rats are gonna do their dance and eat their pizza. I'm gonna go eat, and we're gonna come back and chat afterwards. So, have fun sprinting. Okay, friends, we have finished our first sprint. Let me know how that went. I did see that we had AJC join us. I was also late, to be fair. I had to push back the stream by about 15 minutes because of stuff Jacob was doing. Like, you being late, perfectly fine. With you being late anyway, perfectly fine. We're just here to hang out. It doesn't really matter. But welcome. And Wallace popping in. Hello, what's going on? Having some adult Lunchables and vegging out. Honestly, so valid. I'm a little bit jealous. What did I do during that sprint? I went to the kitchen, chatted with Jacob, had food. Oh, I did my journaling. I've got my to-do list for tomorrow ready. And then I've just been watching the latest video from Mini Minuteman, who does like archaeology and similarly adjacent videos. This video is called Trying to Read a Creationist Propaganda Textbook. It's a good one. I actually have a couple of his videos to catch up on. I haven't watched the most recent few, but this one just came out today, and so it was in my subscriptions, and I was like, yes, please, entertainment while I'm doing my journaling for the evening. So that's what I'm up to. I don't know what I'm going to do in the next sprint yet. I have not yet decided. I think, though, I was going to say I think I might read, but I'm looking at my stack of index cards, my outline for Whimsy, and my brain is like, but what if you wrote more? But I did writing today. So I don't know. I'll decide as soon as I start the sprint. I think we're only going to have one more. I know because I started late, we could technically go a little bit later, but I don't really feel like doing that because it's been a long weekend and I would like to get to sleep at a reasonable time. Of course, I'm going to go on there. Yeah. It's just been a lot of stuff. I was feeding a friend's cat, dealing with my own cats. I had work. Yesterday I had to walk home from work in the rain and it was so annoying. I couldn't get a ride from anyone because I was scheduled till closing, but not to do like the cleaning up afterwards. So I was leaving at 10, and the only other person leaving at 10 was riding their bike home. So it's not even like I could have been like, hey, can I get a ride? Because she was not driving. So it wasn't like bad rain, but I did arrive home damp, and the cats were upset because they didn't get fed until late because Jacob was away over the weekend. But it's fine. The weekend is over. We're starting a new week, and it's going to be better because I say it's going to be better. I just realized not only are we starting a new week, but Tuesday is July 1st. How exciting! The next round of Vox Machinathon is happening. So we are celebrating the release of Tusk Love, which I have to message my local bookstore to see if they're going to have it in stock, because if they are, I'm going to buy it from them, but if not, then obviously I have to buy it elsewhere. So I'm going to do that tomorrow because I think it's a little bit late. I think they close at 7, and even though it's like through Instagram, I don't want to message them outside of their store hours, you know? Haley got 910 words. Killing it. Getting to a fun scene soon. Ooh. What kind of scene, if you don't mind sharing? You don't have to, but I'm curious. As I mentioned before, I'm about a chapter and a half into Whimsy, And I don't think I'm going to get the whole thing drafted before I get my feedback on Salvation. Like, I'm definitely going to have to put a pause on this draft and pick it back up after I do my edits based on beta feedback. But I'm hoping to get a decent chunk into it. It's 47 chapters in the outline, which is a lot. And I'm about 3,500 words in. This thing is gonna end up being like 100,000 words. I just know it. It's gonna be thick. But that's fine. Fantasy books tend to be on the thicker side. Yeah. I'm just doing the introductory bits because I have two POV characters. So the first chapter was like an introduction into Angel's world and what she's got going on, and then the chapter I'm working on now is Gil Fires, and we're seeing like his situation. So it's fun. I'm very into it. I maybe potentially, definitely not for certain though, cried earlier today listening to the God, why can't I think of words today? Playlist. The playlist for this project because it's not even applicable to where I'm at now, but it had me thinking of stuff that happens later on in the book, and it's just it makes me really emotional. Hopefully that translates into the writing when I get there, and it will make the readers emotional. We'll have to see. Oh my god. Okay, maybe we start the next sprint because I cannot seem to stop yawning, and it's driving me crazy. So we're gonna do another pizza rat because I like the pizza rat, and it's gonna be another 55-55. Yeah, I feel like it just kind of hit me all at once, where I was like perfectly fine, and then my brain is like catching up on everything that's happened, and is like, actually, you're really tired right now, and I'm like, yeah, I am really tired. Ooh, the love interest's dad is going to finally apologize after a week for making a transphobic comment about his daughter's friend. Ooh, that is an exciting scene. I'm like, do I take a nap or just go to bed at this point? Yeah, it is kind of a weird time to be like, what do you really do? I don't know. I will be probably not staying up much later after my stream. I'll probably yawn 100 more times, I guess. But probably like after I close things out, get ready for bed and go to sleep. That seems like a good plan. I have not slept well the past couple of nights because it's been so hot. But hopefully it gets better. I don't know. We're gonna start the sprint, so I stop yawning at you. And we're gonna get stuff done. Hello, Bombastus! Coming in right at the start of a sprint. We're gonna do another pizza rat. 55-55. Go get stuff done, and then we'll come back and do more chatting. So I'll see ya on the other side of the rats. And that was the end of our second and final sprint. Because I'm exhausted. So we're just gonna do things a little bit shorter tonight. Instead of 3 hours, it'll be a 2.5 hour stream. I'm so tired. My eyes are watering. But during the sprint, I ended up reading, and I'm reading an ebook, which is why I was on my phone the whole time. I promise I was actually reading. I got to page 110. I don't remember where I started, though, so it doesn't really help much. Crystal did come back at one point during the sprint and said, I'm so close to finishing this chapter, and then I'm heading to bed. Did you finish the chapter, Crystal? Well, let us know. Okay, close out of that now that we're done with the sprints, because now I can use the whole screen just for StreamYard and I can read the comments better. 1692 words since I left for the Zoom. Did not finish the chapter, but you're closer. 2 paragraphs? What the heck? Okay. You could get that done so quickly. And then bedtime. Bedtime for you and bedtime for me. I'm so tired. Oh my goodness. And I gotta wake up tomorrow and do a whole bunch of cleaning in the apartment that I haven't done this weekend. Well, I have been doing a lot of cleaning, but I have a lot more to do. Thankfully I don't have work until later. But then I don't get home from work until after 11. So I'm not gonna go to bed until like midnight tomorrow. Ooh. Exciting. Spoilers, Crystal, though. Hello. I'm trying to wipe my eye without touching my mic or like knocking my glasses out of place, and it's not working. And Haley got 1,253 words. Holy cow. Over 4.5k for the day after writing 8k yesterday. You are killing it. You are doing so good. Crazy. I love that for you. Yeah, unfortunately, the closing shifts are so late because we're open noon to 10 p.m. So if I'm scheduled just closing, then I get out at 10, and then it's like a 15 to 20 minute walk home. But tomorrow I'm scheduled for the cleaning session of closing. So like yesterday I worked 3 to 10, but tomorrow is 4 to 11. So I get to wipe down all the machines and mop the floors and such. You know. Okay, but Crystal, I'm not the only one here. Like, this is live on the internet. There are other people in the chat. People might come and watch the replay. I know what happens. I've read this book 3 times now, I think. But other people don't. It is work, Crystal. It's literally my job. What do you mean that sounds like work? That I'm literally getting paid to do it, so yeah. Okay, give me 1 second to wipe my frickin' eye because it is watering so bad. Just a moment. I don't know why I'm like this, but it's fine. I'm going to bed soon. A nice 9 p.m. bedtime today. I would argue that for a while is not quite accurate. It's not coming out yet, but like it's coming out relatively soon in the grand scheme of things. You know? I like doing machines because it's just machines specifically in this context means the soft serve machines, and we have 3 of them, and it's just putting them on standby, wiping them down, and making sure the places where we store like the soft serve mix and everything, like making sure they're all organized and everything. I really like doing machines. What I don't like doing is cold toppings, which is what I've been doing the past several closing shifts. Cold toppings specifically refers to the Sunday bar, so where we keep all of the different Sunday toppings, and it's like taking all of the ladles out of the fruit toppings and wiping down the whole thing and making sure the hot fudge and the hot caramel machines are like wiped down and turned off. And cold toppings also includes the pretzels because we do sell soft pretzels at this place that I work. I work in an ice cream place for anyone who doesn't know. And so I have to like wipe out the microwaves that we use to heat the pretzels and clean up a lot of salt because the salt gets everywhere. And like it's not hard work, but it's so tedious. I don't like doing cold toppings. But that's all they want to put me on lately. Ugh. I would say within this year is relatively soon. Like the fact that your max end date is only 6 months from now, like that's relatively soon. That's my opinion anyway. Yeah, the giant we obviously we don't make the soft pretzels. We make the I say we, I don't have anything to do with this, but the hard ice cream is made in store. The soft serve ice cream is made with like mixes that we put into the machines. The pretzels are delivered in these massive boxes that have literally 100 pretzels per box, and we get a couple of them each week, and then we keep them in the freezer. And then when the one box is empty, we take it out, defrost them, and everything. And any leftover at the end of the day go back in the freezer. But like, it's just it's so funny to me because they come like attached to each other in rows of 5, and there's 20 rows per box. That's how I know there's 100 of them. And like when you someone's like say someone orders like one pretzel, you have to like snap it off the end of the row, and I don't know why, I just find it so funny. But yes, we do in fact sell soft pretzels, and you can get cheese or mustard or both with it. You can get both. And yesterday we actually ran out. Our our trucks arrive on Monday mornings, so I guess they didn't have any today either. I don't know. I didn't work. But people were so upset that we sold out of pretzels yesterday. And I remember a customer I was like doing the order for ordered the last 2. And the very next person was like, "Yeah, I'd like 3 soft pretzels," and we had to be like, "Sorry, we sold out." And they're like, "Man." So yeah, for an ice cream place, we sell a lot of soft pretzels. A very loud car just drove by blasting music. Weird. My kingdom for soft pretzels. Well, Crystal, if you visit me, I will buy you a soft pretzel. I get a discount. I get, if it's a day that I'm working, I get 50% off of whatever I want. And if it's a day that I'm off, I get 20% off. So come visit me and I'll get you a pretzel. I feel like the dog in the room while it's on fire. Listen, Crystal, it really is fine though. Like it like the dog in the room, it's fine, but it truly is. Yeah, no, that is so fair. I don't blame you. But, you know, Yeah, I don't even know. I understand. It is sure being a time right now. Anyway, on that note, maybe it's time we pull the plug and everyone can get to bed. And by everyone, I mean specifically me. I deserve to go to sleep. So, thank you all for hanging out. Participate in Vox Machinathon. The announcement is on my channel. Oh, perfect, Crystal. Oh, great timing. You can also go to sleep. Yeah, sleep is good. Um, Vox Machinathon in July. Announcements on my channel. There's 6 prompts. You can double up, triple up, do whatever. So it's very little commitment that you actually have to make. Do I have anything else to promote? I might be back on Sunday. I don't know what I'm working yet next week. This week I'm working Monday and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 2 days off in a row, woohoo! But then 3 days on in a row, which is gonna be annoying, especially working on Friday because it's 4th of July, and you know people are gonna want to get ice cream and water ice and soft pretzels on the 4th of July. So we are going to be busy. But I'm actually not closing. Not to go on a tangent right before I say goodbye, but I'm actually working 12 to 7 on the 4th of July, which means I can buy something for myself on my way out the door. I'm thinking a milkshake, but I'm not sure yet. I've got time to decide. That's not till Friday. But yeah. This is fair, Crystal. This is very fair. Um yeah, I was gonna yesterday because I didn't clean. I didn't have to stay to clean. I was just going at closing. I was gonna get myself a little water ice to go, and then it was raining, and I'm like, I don't want to eat my water ice in the rain as I'm walking home. That sounds really annoying. So I didn't end up getting anything. And I'm mad. But yeah, I might be back Sunday. We will just have to wait and see. If I am, I'll see you then. If not, I'll see you some other time in the future. Get 2 things, yeah. I'll make up for it. I'm gonna push. I'm gonna push the buttons now as soon as I find them. Here they are. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you at some point in the future. Bye, everyone.